From Super League to Olympic distance to age group world records to Kona. Go longer with the right fuel at the right time with SFuels.
This is a phenomenal bike ride, and I can tell you he's so casual. This is his first time he's ever biked the full 112 miles here in Hawaii. He's never been up to the turn in Harvey. He's certainly been up there today. Doesn't he
look? Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost, shaking my soul. Self-proclaimed, there's no woman to blame, but I know it was only Bob's fault. It was only Bob's fault, 'cause it's breakfast with Bob.
Macho Man, everybody! Welcome to our 11th edition of Breakfast with Bob from beautiful Huggles on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, Forum Smart Swim Goggles, Quintanaroo, Zoot, the original triathlon brand, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. She is coming off a 10th place at Ironman World Championship in St. George. Give it up for Maja Stage Nielsen.
Thank you.
Hi Maya, how are you?
I'm good, Bob. Thank you.
You're becoming like a native. You've been here, what, like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I like it here.
You like it here?
Yeah, I do.
Obviously, you've been, what? You've been 12th, 15th, and 11th at this race.
Yes.
And what first got you? Because you have a serious golf background.
Yeah, but I needed a change and started triathlon. Discovered that you could do a world championship on Hawaii and thought, yeah, that sounds nice.
That sounds a little nicer than traveling the world as a golfer. Were you traveling the world as a professional golfer?
Mainly in Europe.
Oh, in Europe.
I was still in school, so it was like a few wildcards to play on the European tour.
Yes. What was your best round?
-3.
3 under par.
Yeah.
Wow. So you are a real golfer.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you still play?
Only a little bit, from time to time.
And how do you go from golf to triathlon? What was the transition for you?
Club La Santa.
Club La Santa.
I went to Club La Santa as a golf instructor and discovered triathlon there and was
Because a lot of triathletes train there.
Yes, and they have the Ironman as well.
Yes.
Ironman Lanzarote, and was hooked right away. So yeah, that has been my daily routine and job since.
How did you go from age group to pro? Was it a long process, or did you go pretty quickly?
I did like 1 season or 2 seasons as age grouper.
Yes.
Did 70.3 worlds as age grouper. And then I basically turned pro, did some races where you don't have to where it's not like just open races.
Right. Yeah, some of those, yes.
And then studied to be a physiotherapist and went all in after that.
And your running has really gotten a lot better, right, over the years. 2018, you ran like 3:16 at South Africa, then 3:05 and 3:06.
Yeah, I think South Africa was a bit of a off race.
Okay.
I was injured leading into it, and also should maybe not have raced. I always feel like running has been my strongest discipline.
Okay.
And where I really feel comfortable, and also where I kind of make my move.
So what is it about this course, because you've done so well here with the 12th, 15th, and 11th, what is it about this course that suits you so well?
Well, I think tough conditions suits me. I like the wind.
You like the wind?
Yeah. Lanzarote is very windy. I'm from the west coast of Denmark, where it's very windy, and yeah, I like when it gets tough.
So when you get 10th at St. George, the World Championship, and again, your run, 3:07 run there, when you come away from that, once you've been top 10, you sort of know that, okay, there's really no reason I can't be top 5. Yeah, that's where you belong, right? You know you belong there. So there's really no reason you can't be top 5 or potentially podium. Is that the way you look at this year's race?
I feel like if I do top 5 here, I will feel like I've won the race. Top 8 is like my goal,
okay.
But I take whatever.
Whatever you
yeah.
get. So what after this, do you do 70.3 worlds as well, or are you focusing more full?
No, I feel like I'm best on the full distance.
Okay.
So yeah, I race here and then we'll see how I feel. Probably I do one more Ironman before the end of the year.
So when you start this sport, how old were you when you got into triathlon?
21.
21 years old, and at that point, had you spent much time riding a bike?
No, I'd done a few body bike spinning classes to stay fit while I was a golfer.
Yes.
I did a lot of running though, because I felt like running was a nice break from my head as well while I played golf. And basically, the worst I've played, the fast I would run.
The worse you played, the faster you run.
Yeah, it was kind of my escape.
Your therapy.
Yeah. So we also had some tests on the national team,
Yes.
and the last test I did, only one of the boys ran faster. So I kind of knew that I could run,
Yes.
but at the same time I was like, well, these are golfers. You can't really
tell.
judge towards them. But yeah, I always loved running, and I think that's also what I said, my strongest discipline.
So the swimming though is a hard thing to learn.
It is.
When you're 21 or so. And was that a brand new sport? I mean, obviously you swam, but swimming at that level is a little different game.
Yeah, I thought I was a good swimmer, capable of swimming, but I learned my lesson and found out what
I'm not that good at swimming.
what a real swimmer is. So yeah, I put a lot of effort into it, and swimming is probably the thing that can frustrate me the most, but also the place where when you finally have a breakthrough, it's also where you feel the most satisfied.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, because all of a sudden, swimming is so much technique and getting a feel for the water. And when you have that, light bulb goes off and you get it.
Yeah. So very mixed feelings about it.
So in St. George, because it was obviously 7,000 feet of climbing on the bike. You got weather issues. There's so much going on there. Take me through the race. Were you coming back on the bike? Did you catch a lot of people in the run?
Actually, I had a very good swim in St. George. I got this course suits me a lot better on the bike than St. George did, and I feel a lot more comfortable on this course and confident. So I kind of lost a lot of time on the bike, but then had a decent run. I've been running faster here than I did in St. George.
And you ran 3:07 there. That was pretty impressive on that course.
Yeah, so I believe that I can do, I'm more compatible, or I have better chances here than I had
at St. George.
Yeah.
So in the past, have you come here for 2 weeks? Or is this the first time you spent this much time training here?
This is a bit longer than I've had before. But I like that, you don't feel so well when you get here in the first place, and it's 12 hours time difference from Europe, and the heat and everything, even though you try to acclimatize. So it's nice that you have time to get acclimatized, but also have a few sessions where you actually feel good before the race. So this is why I chose to be here so early this time.
So with some of the people you played against in golf, have they followed what you've been doing? Because when you're sort of a professional in one sport and then you become professional in another sport, I think sometimes people go, wait, what? You did what?
Yeah. I talk a bit with a few of the girls. They play, some of them on the European tour, some here on the LPGA.
Yes.
And I like to follow them too.
And so are they pretty excited about what you're doing?
Yeah, I think. I think they're happy that they do what they do, but they're also happy for me that I do what I like to do.
So when you did your first triathlon, did you know right then, okay, this is what I want to do? Had you sort of burned out a little bit on golf?
Yeah, I kind of needed a break and went to Lanzarote with a hope that I would start missing playing golf so that I could go back and go all in. But like I said, I discovered triathlon, and then that has been
it.
Yeah. I was hooked from the very beginning.
Did you surprise yourself in 2017 when you got 12th here? Because, again, that's finishing top 15 at a world championship is pretty special.
Yeah, I had a good race, and that was also where I was like, okay, now I know where I belong. Like when I did my first full distance, I was like, okay, now I know where I belong. This is what I want to do, because I did half distance for a while before that.
Just wasn't long enough for you.
No, I think I'm a bit more of a diesel and need the long distance.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get 12, and I'm sure you're thinking, okay, now I'm going to go top 10.
Yes.
And then the following year you get 15.
Yeah, but I think it also shows a bit about how the field has developed.
Yes.
I think from my first year here to now, like...
Totally different.
Yeah, the level has just gone up, and there's so many more girls with like a high level.
Right.
So I think that even at top 12 now would be a better result than when I did it the first time I was here.
Do you like the idea of the women racing separately than the men?
I'm very split about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like that we don't have the interference of the age group men.
Yes.
But I'm not the biggest fan of racing on a Thursday night in Europe, like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because people are working and
yeah, and they won't have the chance to follow it the same way as if it was in the weekend.
Saturday.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. But I like the idea of that all the cameras will be at the front with the women rather than trying to get to the back middle of the field and find the women.
Yeah, and I like that part as well.
Yes.
Of course, for sure. And especially the part about like having a huge gap before some age group men will be able to catch the last pack of the pro women. So yeah, very mixed feelings about it.
I love it. Well, hopefully you'll get your dream and be top 5. That would be wonderful to see.
Thank you so much.
Maja Stage Nielsen, everybody. Poncho Man, take us out.
Wasted away again in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker sound. Supper to blame, yet there's a woman to blame, and they're right, cause her name is Maja, and it's breakfast with Bob. It's breakfast with Bob.
Poncho Man, everybody.